Watcher, and welcome to another Dominions 5 video about EA Relay. This covers turns 9 through 12 of the new Sprites game, in which I'm at war with Therados. Not much exciting happens between turns 9 and 12, so I'm going to gloss over my troop movements and show that my expansion has basically stopped, and my preparations for war have continued. After that, I'm going to talk a bit about the diplomacy that's happened, and diplomacy in general. So in turn 9, I very nearly made a critical error, which was not to bring gems with me. But I remembered. In the middle of the night, but I did remember. Ulm has appeared, apart from Therados, my first visible neighbour. I've also been talking to Lanka, who I know from another game already. I continue marching westwards in turn 10 and meet Veritas. I've also seen Ermor to the east, but I haven't initiated communication with him just yet, because I'd like to begin communications having already secured that Hoberg province. Negotiate from a position of strength. By turn 11, it should be obvious to Therados that I have now amassed 2 large armies at his borders, and I'm going to invade. Ulm has taken a province of amphibians. This would give me more concern if I hadn't already talked to him. The lone grand hydromancer there is Therados' god. He's defended by province defense, but if he's still there next turn, he should be in for a rude surprise. Turn 12, and as planned, I'm moving on his capital. It's all gone exactly as expected, with a couple of wrinkles. First, his god moved north, and I killed him. Hurrah! I got a mind blast in through his magic resistance right away, before he even got a cast off. Second, you can see the army of ghosts to the south of my slave prince. They're going to be a bit of a nuisance, but I can kill them, and I want to stop him generating new ghosts. I do that by besieging his forts. Therados' free spawn only appears in their forts. I've also exactly achieved a research goal. My thaumaturgy is now at level 3, which allows me to teleport. I worked out that if the 2 commanders who are capable of teleporting kept researching, then they could join the war effort by teleporting onto the besieged capital. That seems excellent to me. Experienced players will know that I have made a crucial mistake. I'll leave it for you to figure out what it is. Let's talk a little about diplomacy instead. Certainly for a novice like me, diplomacy is the biggest single difference between single player and multiplayer. Instead of dealing with an AI, you're dealing with actual people who make choices sometimes based on obscure reasons, or reasons that can be influenced by diplomacy. Talking to your neighbours, at the very least, is absolutely necessary, even if it's initially uncomfortable and you're quite shy, like me. There is nothing worse than being uncommunicative, because people who are uncommunicative are unpredictable, and nobody wants an unpredictable actor as a neighbour. They would rather contact that player's other neighbours and then work with them to eliminate you, because they don't like unpredictable neighbours either. Having good communication is also an advantage. It is quite common in early diplomacy to establish a NAP, or non-aggression pact. You can do that for several reasons. Firstly, you may know who your neighbours are, have decided who you're going to go to war with, and make sure you're not attacked by your other neighbours. But you can also secure a NAP to prevent somebody you're currently not able to deal with from attacking you. Of course, there's no guarantee that another player will honour the treaty, but this is where having a reputation between games counts. Much like real life, if you gain a reputation for violating your treaties, nobody trusts you, and they all expect you to renege. By this stage, I'm in active communication and have secured non-aggression pacts with 3 of my neighbours. I have a lot of neighbours because I'm in a pond. One of them I do not have an NAP with, and is quite poor at communication. It would have made sense to me if that person had asked for an NAP sooner rather than later. it wouldn't have made any difference. My mind was already made up. He had to go. But at least he could have tried. One final note about Popgirl Nations in general. I think it's probably a bad idea to play one in a noob game. More than experienced players, noobs are afraid of Popgirl. The Rebirth mod, which allows provinces to regenerate, addresses some of that. But I would not be looking to paint a target on my back before I've even started. That's all for now. I'll leave it as an exercise to the watcher to see if they know which critical mistake I have made. Because believe me, it's a doozy. Next time you'll find out what it is. Cheerio!